Well, let's hit you up with some music news. First of all, Reba, Post Malone, and Andra Day performing at the Super Bowl.
What?
That's going to be kind of cool. Reba's going to do the national anthem. Posty will perform America the Beautiful, and Andra Day will sing Lift Every Voice. Of course, you know, Usher headlining the halftime show at the Super Bowl.
When's the Taylor Swift announcement coming? Because we all know that.
Not yet.
We all know that's part of the plan if the Chiefs make it. You watch.
I mean, anticipation. Love this. A biopic about the Red Hot Chili Peppers frontman Anthony Kiedis is in development at Universal Pictures. They've obtained the rights to his 2005 biography, Scar Tissue, of course, chronicling his upbringing, battles with addiction, early years in the Peppers. He's going to serve as producer on the film, along with their longtime manager, Guy Osseri and Brian Grazer.
Didn't he date Barbra Streisand at one point, or was she his babysitter? Who was it that it was his babysitter that he dated?
Anthony?
That was in the book. Yeah, and I can't remember.
Why don't you Google that while I'm doing my Sleaze?
Hold on, don't move on, Fram. I think it was a weird one
Barbra
like that.
Streisand?
It was.
What?
All right, go ahead. I'll look
Why
it
would
up.
I don't remember that. Yeah, that was a really good book if you never read it.
It was someone like that that's funky.
You remember the Chili Peppers performed at the 99X 10-year anniversary back in the day?
The one over on Buford
that?
Highway at that strip mall.
I know, that's
Yeah.
right. Remember we talked about the Smashing Pumpkins open call for a new guitar player? It's been a smashing success. The current trio, of course, Billy, James Iha, Jimmy Chamberlain, announced that they've received upwards of 10,000 applications for the gig. Yeah, the band has received over 10,000 submissions for the position of additional guitarists that they wrote on their social media. Currently, there are 8 people working full-time to review each and every one. Wonder who the judges are.
Is that such a surprise?
Jeff Schroeder announced he's leaving. Can you imagine? I want to know who's judging this. Dying to know.
They act like it's so surprising that 10,000 people want to play guitar for the Smashing Pumpkins. I thought it would have been more than 10,000.
I hope it's like some complete nobody 16-year-old or something.
Well, like in Marvelous 3.
Exactly. So did you find out who Anthony Kiedis' babysitter was?
Sadly, it wasn't Barbra Streisand. I had high hopes for that. Ione Skye is one of them.
Yeah, I remember that.
Supposedly Heidi Klum and
Interesting.
and Mel C of the Spice Girls.
That's funny.
These are rumored notable, I guess, relations. I don't know if it's exact, but I don't know why I thought it was Barbra Streisand.
Green Day, love this. Hope you saw the video. Did a surprise 6-song set at the Rockefeller Center subway station in New York this past Tuesday night. Kimmel, of course, taped it. He was also in disguise. They all came out in disguise with like fake mustaches and wigs, sunglasses, and they played a cover of Bad Company's Feel Like Making Love, Jimmy Kimmel on tambourine. After revealing who they were, then they went on to play Basket Case, a couple of new songs, and then a cover of Rock and Roll All Night and American Idiot. Know your word yet when the segment will air.
I don't know how they think this is safe. When you see it, I mean just for the band's safety. I did see a couple of bodyguards, but at some point, it's so... Imagine a train station in New York, and every inch of it is now filled with people, and the band, they're so close to the band that your stomach is up against their instruments, and not that instrument.
It's pretty wild if you see the video. They did say that on that upcoming stadium tour with the Pumpkins that they're going to play Dookie and American Idiot in full.
Here's a little bit of it from the sub. How about Aunt Edna there with the louder than Billy Joe on the mic? But their PR people need a raise because these guys leading up to this album have just killed it.
A couple other music notes. May have seen this online. Kanye got all of his teeth pulled and replaced with $850,000 set of titanium dentures. Not exactly true. You know, he still has all his teeth, but he did get a set of grills made out of titanium and some other precious metals. I have no idea what that would cost.
A lot.
They're fixed prosthodontics, meaning that they're attached to his teeth. He posted this picture on Instagram comparing himself to, remember that character Jaws in the James Bond movie?
Oh, yeah.
Who had the metal teeth?
Yeah.
Yeah, he posted a picture of that too. I guess he's thinking it's funny. I don't know. Kanye. Congratulations, Tracy Chapman, receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award at the upcoming 2024 International Folk Music Awards. Good for her. Saw this yesterday. Probably not one of the better ideas Hollywood has come up with, but Pauly Shore is going to star in a biopic about Richard Simmons. Pauly revealed last year that he was playing phone tag with Richard about the movie, but guess what? It doesn't seem like they ever got together because Richard Simmons released a statement yesterday saying, quote, "You may have heard they may be doing a movie about me with Pauly Shore. I've never given my permission for this movie, so don't believe everything you read. I no longer have a manager, and I no longer have a publicist. I just live a quiet life, and I'm peaceful. Thank you for all your love and support." So apparently he is not condoning this biopic.
And he cried 14 times during that statement. And the thing is, there couldn't be a better person to play him, though. Pauly Shore playing Richard Simmons?
Yeah, I saw the photos on Instagram, and he looks just like him if you see it.
And that's with no changes. He looks
crazy.
He looks
crazy.
Just right out the gate.
You know, Barnes, I know you're excited about the Super Bowl. For me, I'm excited about awards season. I watch every single award show. Got the Grammys coming up, and then just announced the BAFTA nominations. You know what that is? The British Academy Film Awards.
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
Those are always huge. Just a headline for you: Oppenheimer and Poor Things lead Barbie falls short. Yeah, Oppenheimer like sweeping with 13 nominations. We'll see what happens.
Why are the awards at this point? Why are they all strung together like this? Like all of them?
Because they lead up to the grand finale, the Oscars.
Oh, but why are they all in this window?
Yeah, they're in this window because they're sort of capturing like the last, 12 months.
Got it.
A couple of actors in trouble, Barnes. Yeah.
Who?
Arnold Schwarzenegger reportedly detained by security at Germany's Munich airport for 3 hours. The reason? He didn't register a watch that he owns and might be auctioning at an Austrian-based charity. It's from a Swiss brand valued over $21,000. Apparently, it might be landing Arnold in some heat. Customs spokesperson said criminal tax proceedings have been initiated since the import. It wasn't registered before he traveled. Other people are blaming customs, saying that he was never asked to fill out a declaration form, and he answered every single question.
What a thug.
3 hours detained for that.
A watch? Okay, yeah.
Here's another actor in trouble. Pierce Brosnan. Did you know that parts of Yellowstone Park are off limits?
Yes, I did.
Even for famous people? Well, Pierce Brosnan was cited in December for trespassing in what are called protected thermal areas. He was filming this movie called The Unholy Trinity. He apparently strayed into forbidden territory. Court documents indicating that he has pleaded not guilty to the charges against him, which include citations for traveling by foot in all thermal areas within Yellowstone Canyon, confined to trails, and also violating closures and use limits. Man, all these people in trouble.
Some friends of mine saw him in Buckhead having lunch one Sunday recently at that French restaurant. I forgot the name of it, but in the main part of Buckhead, yeah.
He seems like a cool dude.
Seems as though.
Dana Carvey returning to his Fly on the Wall podcast with his partner David Spade yesterday. Remember, he took a break after losing his 32-year-old son Dex to an accidental drug overdose back in November. Here's how Dana started the latest podcast with David.
So sad.
So if you're listening to our podcast right now, you probably know about my family's loss. I just want to say that the amount of outpouring online and emailing and people I still haven't been able to call back is incredible. I thought about this over the holidays and I decided to come back. It's a long day where you're not working, you get in your head, and I think it's going to be a great break. And I think it's really cool to laugh.
Dana, to add to that there was so much goodwill out there that was going through me to tell you. Even Mrs. Farley, Chris's mom, wrote a letter for me to give to you. I just thought I'll wait on that, but just to show you, it's really everywhere, and I just didn't want to overload you. But as you know, everyone, very, very nice things. No one knows how to deal with it, but I agree that it's nice to do the show again.
Just want to make sure that you keep moving. Doing this and riffing with you, I think is going to be very healthy for me.
That's something you may never ever hear again. Those two guys being completely serious.
I thought about that during that whole interchange.
Like, when have you ever heard them like
I
that?
know.
It's just such a sad story.
You might have seen this post that said that Patch Sajak told a contestant on Wheel of Fortune to shut up Tuesday night. That wasn't the case. We found the clip. Here's what really happened, Barnes.
Yeah, the problem is people take just sections of it and lose all the context.
Out of context.
And then it goes crazy. But yeah, here's what really happened.
According to my math, by 200... Oh! You didn't mean that personally. No, never. According to my math, by $233, you are the winner. $11,900. Shut up! That's been a big phrase lately.
See, that's all they used in social.
Well, she said shut up because she was like shocked, and then he repeated it.
Yeah, he's just having fun.
Now, did you watch the Emmys?
I did.
Did you watch the
I was
in
back and
memoriam?
forth between football, but I did not make it to the in memoriam.
Well, you know, in the end of the in memoriam, you know, Charlie Puth and the Warren Treaty were singing "I'll Be There for You" was like sort of the theme at the end, the theme song for Friends, and of course the photo of Matthew Perry. Now that whole show is about bringing back iconic shows, you know, and people were like, well, why didn't the cast of Friends show up? Well, they talked to Jesse Collins, who's the producer, and he said, you know, when you're mourning someone and you're this close, I can't speak for them, but we all have to respect that they were their own family. It was just a little too soon.
Way too, man, talk about too soon. That just happened.
It just happened. So, of course, we all completely respect that. It was crazy. When you're in Hollywood, you know, a lot of people talk about weight, you know, especially female actresses. It's like, oh, you're too this or you too that. But how about you're too tall? This actually happened to Nicole Kidman in her career because she's 5'11", and she was like, I couldn't change that. Here's what she had to say.
I remember auditioning for Annie, which was just one of those sort of big you know, call-outs where like hundreds and hundreds of people. I didn't have an agent or anything. I just showed up and I had to talk my way through the door because they were measuring you before you went in.
But on the flip of that, the models, you have to be tall, right? It's discriminating in some way. And Hollywood is mostly small.
I have to say I really love her, and she's taken on some really interesting roles lately.
It's weird when you see some of those people, back to the height thing, like when you see like Tom Cruise standing on a box, doing a scene, you know, standing on a box, because they try to match the heights, but it's all that psychological stuff. You don't want that person to be taller than that person or smaller than that person. But yeah, she's been on fire lately.
I love when nuggets come out on podcasts. The latest is actor Ed O'Neill. Almost never got into acting. Simply came down to a choice he was given as a young man. He was on this podcast, Dinners on Me, with Jesse Tyler Ferguson. He said that when he was younger, he was cut from the Pittsburgh Steelers in training camp. I had no idea about that. So he had a friend who offered him a job in organized crime. I think Hollywood might have been the better choice for him.
Yeah, he did very, very well.
That is your Celebrity Sleaze.